Hey, True Badger Token. Nice to see you today. It's Doug and me back for a daily nSights DeFi trader update. I sit here looking at this YouTube, making sure I remember to press the button to turn it off so it doesn't affect us. Anyway, we're live. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Deb.
It's all good?
Well, welcome to we had a good day today. I mean, I think that we had a great session
Yeah, we did.
with the boss and Brendan today. And our session was all about mapping. And I think we added a function that will be really good. And this was a function that Deb and her brilliant mind was trying to understand the sell process. And we got to the buy section of mapping, and Deb goes, that's what I want to see in cells. And we actually, I think it'll be a great function, especially if we have a large cell that we're trying to map to a series of profitable buys. And you guys will understand that more and more over time. But again, it really comes back to one of the things that makes nSights extremely powerful is the ability to map trades. And I'm going to show you guys a function today that we're still working on, but it's partially working. And I'm excited about it. So I'm going to show it. And it just shows where we're at in our progress of getting nSights to be just a extremely powerful tool in this space. So Deb, can you see my screen?
I can, and I just wanted to mention that we've got a lot of people probably who aren't super familiar with some of the stuff that we do, and I just want to make sure that people understand when we talk about that mapping functionality, what we're really talking about is being able to see your overall profit and loss, right? Where are you? This is what nSights is all about, right? So when you think about you have a buy trade and maybe you sold some of that sell side transaction, it needs to be if you didn't do it inside of nSights, it needs to actually be mapped to something. So you get to go in and you get to look at all of your buys against that sell, and you get to pick which ones make the most sense from a profit percentage, or from a profit perspective. So we're really talking about the accounting piece of all of your transactions that you have out in the DeFi space. And when you can kind of grasp that, it gives you a better understanding of what we're doing. And I know this because we've built this thing, and then now that we're seeing all of the functionality all starting to work together, it's starting to open up, even for my mind, right? It's starting to open up exactly what we're doing here. And so it's important that our end users eventually really understand what it is we're doing.
Yeah, I think we make and this is really hard, but we make accounting sexy.
Sexy. I knew you were going to say it.
Oh my goodness. But it's true. I mean, you think accounting, you go, oh my God, how boring can that be? But when you think of accounting and profits, now you begin to make me smile. All
Yeah.
right, so let's look at this because there's two things that we're working on, and we talked about this a couple of AMAs ago. And I'll probably tomorrow I might even be able to show a little bit of it. That we're moving our dots and our break-even points over to TradingView. I can't show that part today, but probably maybe be able to show a little bit of that tomorrow because parts of it are beginning to work. But what I want to show today is on our charts, and this will then also happen on the TradingView charts ultimately, I believe, is this function. And I talked about this function from day one. I had no idea that we would have this function beginning to work before we've launched here, but it is. So I'm going to click on this little icon here, and then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on this dot and see this box that popped up, and see here's the trade right here at the bottom. okay? And then I'm going to come over and click on this dot. There's that trade. And if I wanted to put in the ability to calculate, I can now calculate this trade and this trade right from my charts by selecting the dots and and it would give me, now these profit percentages are off because they're such small trades. They're not, because we're just trading with like $1 here and the fees are so high. When you trade $1 trade and you have $1 in fees, gives you a large percentage of profit loss, right? But still, the key is that I can select right from the chart trades and now have them calculate that. And if I wanted to then close those trades, I would be able to ultimately do that right from here. So this function is still being worked on, but the power that we have to actually close trades from the charts, look at where they are in relationship to the current market, maybe look at them like we did last night when I did the overlays on our Monday night call, and we looked at where we were at in terms of the bottom of the market, and we said, there's a good probability that they're going to bounce, and today it bounced up, right? But to know those kind of things, and then to be able to pick as we learn and grow, be able to pick which trades we want to sell based on barriers and based on market movement and so on. Super powerful. Then we add in the layer in nSights to be able to pick ultimately when we get to that mid wallet where we actually want to buy trades in the future based on barriers. We just have the most powerful tool in the DeFi space. Super, super excited about what Abbasidum have gotten done today. And, we'll be able to continue to expand this function all the way, like I said, over to the trading view charts. I don't think we'll be able to see this today. I don't think we have. Well, we'll wait for trading view tomorrow, see what we get for tomorrow, because we've got to have a little excitement for tomorrow. But I think we've made good progress. I think what we're talking about in terms of mapping here on the order listing, you can see the custom mapping here. When I go to my sell transactions, now I'll go a little slow here. What I did was I went from my nSights page to order listings over here. This is more the back end of really what's going on with your trades. And if I looked under open, these are all the open trades that haven't been sold yet. They're just, waiting there for the market to do whatever the market's going to do. Or if I set a target, if I use in the future system, when we have the mid wallet done, I set a target profit. Maybe I set a target profit of 50% for this trade. Then I would set it here and it would go for that target. Here, though, right now, I have some sell transactions that are unmapped. There's 2 of them, here and here, under sales transactions, meaning they're not attached to a buy. And so when I have the power in open here is to click on any one of these that I would think that are not mapped yet. I could click on them and say, okay, maybe let's say this one was 25 or 30% in profit. It wasn't sitting negative. I could click on this one right here, number 3, trade number 3. I could click custom map and it would bring those 2 up, right? But also, if I say this one's 30% in profit and this one's 15% in profit, number 2 right here, number 2. I could click on it and it would also bring up the same 2 unmapped sell trades. I could then click on these and say, okay, if I mapped that to number 2, it would number two has 101 million tokens. And if I mapped this 72 million cells to that 101, it would close out 72% of the open trade on number one and leave me with 28 million tokens still for trade number two. And if I did this, it would close out 100% of that trade. Okay. So what Deb got excited about was this. We were working on our stats over here, and I'm looking at all the buy trades, and Deb goes, "That's it. That's what I want." Okay, and so really, what Deb was saying was she wanted to be able to go here, have a custom map here on the sell side. And when she clicked on that, this would pop up, something like this, that would have that cell. So that cell that we're looking at has 82 million tokens that it needs to map to a buy. So it can close and calculate the accounting, that sexy accounting, Deb,
Right.
that profit, right? That profit that you get. So when she clicked on this custom, when we build that here, custom close here, it would pop up a box like this. It would say 80, clicked on this, it would say that it was 82 million. Remember how we had the 82 million buy, or the buy on the other side? It would say 82 million sell. And if I clicked on this, it would map 100% of that, because this is 88 million, and whatever profit that was, it would give that to me in profit. Well, let's say we had a 500 billion sell, okay? Well, we could come here and click on multiple buys that aren't closed yet. These are all multiple buys. Have it mapped to that 500 billion sell and hit calculate, and it would give us the profit of all of these buys then mapped to that sell, and tell us right here on the screen exactly what our profitability is for that entire close. If I only close like 200 billion of the 500 billion sell, it would calculate my profit for that 200 billion that have been closed. And I can leave the other 300 billion alone for a little while. Let profits happen in buys. And then when those buys get in profit, it will actually take the rest of that 300 billion where I closed it, then map it to the buys, and then calculate that profitability of that remainder portion of that sell trade. Nobody has anything like this. Nobody. It's just, oh my God. It, for me, it's like, I have to use some wisdom when I'm selling, and if I go out and sell on like Pancake Swap directly and stuff, and there'll be ways that we can use this tool that will go even, I think, way beyond anything that I can envision right now. But the power is in our fingertips. And again, going back to open trades, if I took the trade inside nSights, I do have the ability to sell now, right? And it would just map that just the way it is. But in the future, when I'm doing custom sells, I go, okay, I want to take Mary out this weekend, and we want to go to somewhere fancy. I need an extra $10,000, Deb. Really a fancy place.
Yeah, that's a great, lots of
Really fancy. So I go out in Pancake Swap and I sell 10 grand, and then in the future I'll map it to open trades, because I want to map that profitability the way that I want to map it. So
And just to say it again, when you are selling in when you've bought something inside of nSights, you've swapped using nSights. Now you have the sell now feature inside of nSights, and when you sell now, it's going to do that mapping for you, right? It
Automatic.
automatically. So that's going to happen automatically. So this custom mapping and all of that, it's for your transactions that you bought and sold outside of nSights.
Mhm.
nSights is saying, hey, I'm going to give you the ability to see inside of all of your profitability on all of your tokens. So let us give you the tools to click and do your custom mapping and decide how you want that to look, which is absolutely beyond brilliant.
Yeah, and so where would that be used? It would be used on maybe a brand new token that's coming out that isn't on an exchange yet anywhere, that might be launched on something called Catable. Oh, wow.
What?
Imagine that, right? Maybe you were one of the people on day one, right? And so now you have a bunch of tokens, but you came and you bought other tokens also. So now you need to be able to map that profitability, or maybe it's an airdrop or other things like we've talked about, that we will find ways to map our profitability to maximize our returns the way that we should be, right? So huge, 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 huge. Today, I again, I'll leave us with this view where we are able to click on our dots and bam,
That's hip.
that's just magic. Really
That's
is
really hip.
just
And all you do is click on a second one and it brings up the second one there.
yeah.
Just
So here's this one. I
uh-huh.
clicked on one of these. Now I click on that one, and now I got it. I wonder if now I don't know if it'll give me this one because it was on the same day. They're still working on the functionality
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
this, but let's click on this one just to see. I don't think it's going to give it to me. Oh, it did.
Ooh. Now click on
Okay,
one that you already clicked on. Let's see what happens.
nothing.
Okay. Yes, that would be
So I can
expected.
unselect it here though.
Yeah,
And
good, good.
unselect it here.
Just so long as we don't see something twice, just because we clicked it twice for all
Man,
of
you're
our
asking me that on a live
I
call. I
know,
didn't
I know,
think
I know, I know. As soon as I said it, I thought, this is what we do behind the scenes.
Oh, all right, guys. So we're getting closer every day in every way, as they say, as we journey down this road
Wow.
every night and every day. They just run together. Um, but as you can see, we're making tremendous progress. And really, what I want you guys to do, as we're showing this, and as you're envisioning this, and as you're seeing the trades, I want you to envision your trades, and I want to have you envision yourself using this in a way that gives you the power to control your destiny in trading like never before. I envision, and I want you to envision with me ultimately, seeing this kind of functionality in Digi also. We'll get there, where we can have the trades on the charts, where we have trading view. Then we will have two of the probably strongest tools on the planet in terms of being able to be in control of how we trade. So super exciting, guys. All right, Deb, that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you, Doug. That was exciting. And we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock, you guys, Pacific. Thanks for everybody who continues to come and support us and who is as excited as we are to see this launch.